Well, good morning, and good morning. Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to today's installment, Hump Day, of Bathroom Moments. I am your host, Lauren Michaels Harris, and I didn't do any prep. I mean, I got up. I think I probably have crust on my face. Seriously, I gotta admit, choosing a format that allowed me to do nothing, throw on a bathrobe, and have a cup of coffee, was that not the smartest move ever? I'm not kidding you. I can wake up 20 seconds before showtime and be ready. It's just, I'm not kidding. I'm so proud of that decision because I am notoriously late, all kinds of stuff. But here we are, and you know what though? I was joking about that just now, but I want to say something about that. I really remember. I actually remember. Um, because it was on the front end of the career and I needed to do something else. And I remember I was standing right here in front of this desk, and I had my coffee in my hand and I had on my bathrobe and I was asking God, because I had like stubbed my toe or something upstairs on my way down here. And I was gonna back then I used to just sit down and start, like posting, or I didn't know how to start. I was like, okay, what do I do? How do when you work for yourself and you don't have any customers or anything, it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do today? It was in that phase of the building of the business. And I said, man, I wish I had a show or something to do early, God, early in the day, because when I stubbed my toe upstairs, a string of expletives flew out of my mouth. And I was like, oh my God, the enemy is so slick. He knows me so well because I had all these intentions. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to do some personal development. I'm going to listen to some Les Brown on YouTube, and I'm gonna. And as soon as I hit that toe, it was, God damn it, son of a bitch, mother. I mean it. And then last thing I was thinking about was all those other things. And that's when I stopped. And I remember I said, but I don't have a green screen and I don't have a microphone. And I mean, I didn't even have a stand to put the phone in. If you all remember the early days of bathroom moments when I used to hold it and walk around and everybody'd be like, stop walking. We need Dramamine. And then they were saying, I had it so close, they were looking up my nostrils. I didn't know what I was doing. But the point is, sometimes that's the best place you can be in. The best place you can be in, that place. And I say this now because we all are living in the same spot as I was that morning. And what that was, I was living in a world where I woke up every morning and I looked around me and all I saw were giant question marks. And with what's going on with coronavirus and all these different things, and you saw the post I put, maybe you didn't, but think about Brown, the Sylvia Brown, how she had predicted this in a book, and someone else wrote about it, and this and the other, and all these doomsday theories. But you know what? I used to be intimidated. I used to be fearful of a world of question marks until I learned that I live for the question marks today. I do. I'm hitting the bell of purpose on that one. And why? Because every time I look for every decision I make in my life, if there's not a question mark somewhere in there in that opportunity, I walk away because I now know that the question mark represents the presence of what I believe to be greater than me. That's why I need him. When I can see a question mark, I know that God is in it. If I don't see a question mark, it means there's nothing to question. And that makes my eyebrow of suspicion go sky high. Because how can it be something good if I already know everything about it? What's the fun in that? God works on cliffhangers because that's what makes us need him, understand him, and reach towards him. So don't be afraid of the question marks, embrace them, and know that that is proof that what is greater than you is in here with you. So I wanted to start off with that and let you guys know that here's a couple coronavirus updates. Like, you don't know these already, but maybe you don't. I mean, it was 6 days after Michael Jackson died before I even knew he was dead. Seriously. And people were like, where have you been? Yeah, and that's another thing. I just had wake up cough. You know what I mean? I'm out in the grocery store, where I'm at in the world. That's the last thing. I will run to the car and lock myself in and go down on the floor and cough before I'll do it out in public. Because I'm a fool. Everybody's like, I'm not, I didn't see it, but I did it when I heard a woman coughing. So I already know. It's crazy what's going on out there. Updates. Coronavirus cases top 200,000 worldwide as of 8 p.m. last night. Um, those are patients, verified patients. In the United States now, I think we are just about at, what does that say? Can't read my own writing. Well, anyway, here's some writer news. Uh, 8,232 deaths so far, and just over 100 of those are in the United States. West Virginia finally decided to get with the program, and now they have a case. So now there is a case of coronavirus in every U.S. state. So that's a total of 5,600 cases and counting in the United States as of yesterday. So again, I don't say all that stuff to add to the mass hysteria and this and the other. I believe if we face it as it grows, um, we have a better chance of understanding because we know, because we talk about it, because of all those things. Don't let fear, don't ever let fear. There are only two sponsoring thoughts: a sponsoring thought of love and a sponsoring thought of fear. So that's the seed that grows the plant that bears the fruit. So the thought that is the word that becomes the action. Lay those two next to each other and follow that plan, and everything's going to be okay. This is not the first time. You guys got to remember when something is testing you and you think, oh my goodness, this thing knows everything about me, this and the other. You got to understand, our guest Amy today. If Amy was going through something today, she's got to remember that whatever is testing her has tested other versions of other Amy's for thousands of years. You are not the first one, but you can be the one that makes it through and changes how you look at this, and show other people how to deal with it. So just remember that, you guys, we are here. You got to remember we were made in something's image greater than us. So I'm not worried about something. I believe in a hedge of protection, and I claim mine. How about you? This is new this season, everybody. This is the bell of purpose. And every time our guest or one of you drops something down that I feel we all need to pick up, you're going to hear that bell ring. That's when you can get in the program and get some hearts and some love on the screen. And remember, everything you do, the world is watching right now because we are streaming live. That's right. Across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Periscope, and of course, our home base, E360 TV Live, out of Phoenix, Arizona. And this week, we're blessed enough to have two sponsors, not one, but two. Count them. There they are at the top of the screen. We have Chris Cash Homes, where realtor and interior designer meet in the middle. Now, Chris doesn't just provide you her services, but she also provides you access to her dreams, to your dreams, and everybody else's dreams if you want them. Here is a gift from her if you're interested, and it's a great magazine. I take all the not coupons, recipes out. They have these great recipe cards inside, so I take mine out every month. And this magazine, American Lifestyle, can be yours obligation free. If you just get me your name and address, I'll get you on the mailing list, and you can start receiving that. So keep that in mind. Chris Cash Holmes, she can be reached at Christina Cash at KW, stands for Keller Williams.com. And also, we have, of course, and we're going to talk about that today, symposium.us, where conversation becomes currency. Download the app today, and check out all their great opportunities. Now, you see here on the screen, right there, boost your income. What is that? I have gone, I've been using Symposium for 3 years now. Everything from live streaming, the Power of We Symposiums, the Next Impactor, they counted all of our votes and gathered all that. I've done many masterminds when I travel and go abroad. I use Symposium to do classes so that I can write off my trips. My CPA showed me the way to do it. That's why the rich get richer. I'm just saying. And I've been using it long before this social distancing, but I'm offering a class right now over on Symposium. It is entitled How to Generate Income by capitalizing on social distancing. I mean it. I can show you guys. I'm going to do a 90-minute class and show you how whatever it is you're an authority on, things you may not even think, you could be good at arts and crafts. Trust me, with all the kids that are at home, if a mom sees that you can do a craft hour and you can tell them all the things to get and have assembled, and you entertain those kids for an hour for a few dollars, you don't think she's going to take that respite, that opportunity? Absolutely, bella purpose on your butt. That's what I'm talking about. This is the time to start looking at what you can do, great things that you can contribute, and how we can help each other. This is a scientific experiment, you guys, this pandemic. It is a modern day stone soup experience where we each bring all the things that we have and that we are great with and great at. And we just make it easier for us. So I'm going to show you some things that you can do to boost your income. to bring in, think about it. You can have up to 10,000 people on a broadcast through a symposium. If you have a $10 class and 1,000 people show up from around the world because everybody in the world is social distancing, would that not give you a little bit more peace of mind? I thought it would. Tell a purpose on that. But so here's what you have to do, and it's on my page. Look at this. Uh-huh, and I can really relate to her experience when she was here before. It was about a year ago because I saw she popped up, like, yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my god." Amy popped up as here's a memory, exactly a year ago, she was here talking about this journey where there she is, April, my eyes, I think it says 30th, 2018, 210 pounds, and, um, and there she is on the right, November 30th, same year, 163 pounds, and she doesn't even look 163 pounds there. And now today, she's even different. Look at this. Uh, and what a story. Her son has been here before. Why isn't this? Okay, there we go. I love this picture. I absolutely love this picture. Not because it's a fit version of Amy Ibera, but because it is a happy version of Amy Ibera. I'm gonna tell you the thing about when you transform your body, it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. It's about how you feel, and she's gonna talk about that with us today, so I'm gonna get her in here, and, we can get this party started. So, without further ado, Amy, come on in, and I need to bring her up. I gotta do all this tech stuff. Okay, there she is. I'm bringing her up. Now where am I? Okay, that means I gotta move you down. Okay, Amy, bear with me. You're already on the screen. You're in a million pieces. Uh Yeah, I'm moving waiting for you to get over. Oh, I gotta send you over. Okay, there. I'm sending Amy over. Red Rover, send Amy right over. Remember that game?
I do. I
I
remember.
I loved it.
I did
Okay,
too.
I did. Uh, okay. Now you should pop up. Oh, they can see me sizing you. I should have done it before I sent it, but that's okay. There you are. Amy, how are you today?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I'm sending a new version of you over. There you are.
Okay.
There. So tell us, introduce yourself, everybody. Give them a little backstory, where you're at, family life, what you do for a living, and then we'll get going here.
Okay. Well, first of all, I loved your intro and everything that you had to share, about mindset and emotions and all the opportunities that are presenting themselves to us right now in this kind of strange new reality that we find ourselves. I love that. And so I think everyone that is sharing that sort of message, needs we need to listen to that, because I agree with you 100%. There's lots of opportunities if we're looking for them, and if we can take hold of our emotions and feel them and reach out and take care of each other. I loved all of that. So a little
Amy,
bit. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit about me. I went on a weight loss journey in 2018. I lost 87 pounds, and it really was a total mind body transformation. So I began coaching. As I had shared my story on social media, people were reaching out to me, and they were inspired by my story, and they were sharing their stories with me of despair and frustration over their own weight challenges. And so I began coaching. I spent 2019 in the health and wellness coaching space, and learned a lot about business, learned a lot about who I was, and what my message was, and how I wanted to have impact. And so this year is I've shifted a little bit. I got clarity around what sets me apart from everyone else in the health and wellness space, and that is really what I'm focusing on this year. I approach weight loss from a food addiction perspective, the disordered eating, the diet culture, diet mentality, all of that. And so this year I've just gotten very, very focused on just that. There's plenty of people out there that are giving great information on nutrition and fitness and meditation and all of those things, which I embrace fully and I encourage people. But I really want to just focus on what I do best, and that's talking about food as an addiction and how to heal that relationship with food and with your body. So that's where I'm at with
awesome.
business. Yeah.
Let me say something here. I
All right.
found that very interesting in that last passage. Listening to you, you said disordered eating, and we're used to hearing eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you? What is disordered eating? I'm just curious,
So
and then we'll
I
go on.
well, it's a I think it's a slight clarification, because a lot of us, when we hear eating disorders, we think of like a disease or something, and then it's like, oh, I don't have an eating disorder. I'm not bulimic. I'm not
Right.
anorexic. But we all have actually disordered eating patterns because of the diet culture that we've grown up in. And
Mm.
so disordered eating is like, oh, I better not have that piece of cake, it's going to make me fat. Or,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I just had a cheat meal, now I got to go work it off in the gym. Or, ooh, no carbs for me because that puts the pounds on my ass. Like, those are all symptoms of disordered eating, and
Mm.
we all experience it because of this diet culture that we live in.
Yes, 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 yes. Loving that. So, and here today, because we're going to get into your next the layer of your life, your story today. But I wanted to touch on some of these things because you are an expert. But you guys, if we start touching on something, you go, oh, I wish they would have talked about that a little longer. Just know that Amy is more than just her weight loss journey, and we want to make sure that's why she's here today. But use those teasers, if you will, those cliffhangers that we're going to be dropping, like this one, to continue the dialogue with Amy. She's going to let you know before we get out of here how to get to her, and in case you want to continue the dialogue. So don't worry, we're not going to leave you hanging. Is my point.
That's right.
Stellar purpose. Okay.
I
Now,
love that bell purpose. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I did want to say this though. In this new era for now, where we're social distancing, and I know my health club is closed. Most are, at least for a little while. Your top three suggestions for people who are used to going there, because a lot of people are right now, because of the sense of manic. Panic and all this, people will anything. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't get to the gym. Oh, I got to get fat again. Whatever. So, can you give us your top three recommendations of what you can do if you can't get to your gym
Yeah.
until they,
Yeah, until it opens again. So,
yeah.
my top three recommendations are these would be my top three recommendations, whether or not you had access to a gym. My
Okay.
first question would be: is why are you going to a gym? And are you enjoying it? Are you going to the gym because someone has told you that if you want to be fit and maintain your weight, you got to go to the gym and do these workouts, these extreme workouts? If that's why you're going to the gym, you may want to reconsider, because that's not going to get you a long-term healthy lifestyle. You're going to go to the gym for a certain period of time to get a result, but if you're not enjoying it, and if you're doing it in an extreme sort of way, you're going to burn out and you're going to get injured. So that's not sustainable anyway. So I would just throw that out to you. Some people like going to the gym. If you like going to the gym and it fires you up and you get there every day, that's great. But if you're going to the gym because you think that that's where you need to be so that your body can look and be a certain shape so that you can be healthy, I would ask you to reevaluate that. What I tell people, and this is what I do, is I run. I run 5 days a week, and I run out on the trails right here at my house or at the beach. So my physical activity has not been interrupted. So my three top things for you is find something that you like to do. How do you like to move your body? Do you like to dance? Do you like to walk your dog? Do you like to do yoga? What is it that you like to do? And then do more of that. And most of those things you can do in your home. You can put a
Right.
YouTube video on. You can, I caution you on those workouts on YouTube, because of course you want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that you're not injuring yourself. But you can put music, if you love to dance, you can blast the music and dance, have a dance party with your family for 20 or 30 minutes or whatever. If you can still walk your dog. Hiking, if you like to be out in nature, go hiking. There's so many ways that you can move your
That's a
body.
good one. Hiking is good because, it is. You see things and you don't think because it's walking that you're really doing it, but it's better than sitting your ass on the couch.
Oh, absolutely. And again,
Mm.
it's sustainable long term. I'd rather see a person walking for 20 minutes a day or hiking for 20 minutes a day every single day than hitting it hard in some boot camp style thing for 6 weeks, and then they can't even move themselves because it's been such an extreme experience for them.
No, and I think it's really important. It just dawned on me, but I mean, honestly, even just getting out and walking, you can follow the social distancing protocol. You can
Mhm.
feel good about what you're doing. You feel good about yourself, and you can still feel like, okay, we are still in a world where there are people
Yes.
interacting, even if it is from across the street or whatever. I think that's an important thing, and not hiding in the fallout shelter. This isn't like you know
Yeah.
remember when well, I don't remember, but you know what I'm saying, when they used to
Yeah.
have those fallout shelters in their backyards and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I mean, who wants to get to that? So, okay, so at this point, we're at the bottom of the hour, pretty close, a few minutes off, and I want to issue a call to action to you guys because we're about to switch things up. We're about to turn it around. Turn it around. Oh, that's the name of my album. Shameless plug. Number 12, 15C. There you go. But we're going to turn this interview around and get into some deeper things. So, if you wanted to be a part of something greater than yourself, here's your opportunity. Hit the share button, start a watch party, invite a few of your friends, because we're going to start talking about some things that led to the Amy Ibera that you're looking at today. It wasn't just the changing of her diet, it wasn't just the changing of her physical routine. A lot of emotional and spiritual and all kinds of other things played huge roles in the getting her to where she is today. Her background religiously is the LDS Church, and I was raised Seventh Day Adventist. So for you Jehovah's Witnesses out there, you know what that means. All of us know what that means. Strict, 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 strict. Plus, she has the traditional LDS size family. Let's put it this way: if they were to follow the president's rules about gatherings of 10 people or less, half their family wouldn't be able to come. I'm just kidding. So,
It's
Amy, now,
undecided.
Amy, if you would, because when I met you, you have how many children?
7.
7 children. She has
Mhm.
7 children, y'all. And look at right. And when I met you, you were married
Mhm.
and have been married. How long were you married to your husband?
We were married 27 years.
27 years.
Mhm.
And you have been, are you separated or
We're
actually?
we're separated and we're divorced. We're it just takes a long time to get divorced in California. So, but
Okay, okay, and okay, so the whole family lives in California.
No, so I have five of my children are adults, and three of those adult children live in Utah.
Now you used to live in Utah.
We did like way back when in 91, 92. Well, I grew up in Utah. I spent some time growing up in Utah. And then, yes, when we were first married, we spent 5 years in
So,
Utah.
Amy, have you been Latter-day Saints your entire, or as some people know, the Mormon Church? Uh, have you been a member of that your whole
I,
life?
I was a member most all of my life until about a year ago.
Oh, you've left the church as.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Last time we spoke, you were still in there.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, didn't know that one. So tell us if you want to now, of course, whatever you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. But I just feel like, this is we're flipping it over. We know all about we still see the proof that you've taken it off, you've kept it off, which means
Hmm.
and you can just look at you and see that you're completely happy, um, with your decisions.
Hmm.
Um, so, but I think for that, this is about those people, male or female, who are still stuck where you were. Those aren't easy decisions to leave a husband, sever a marriage. You have all these kids, and you have a young daughter who's like what, 12, 13?
And she's almost 9.
Almost 9. She's still a baby.
Yeah,
So all these things you have to walk around them. You have to look at them from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, and still
absolutely.
come out with the decision that is best for you. Now,
Yeah.
if you would, and I'm going to just volley over to you and let you run with it. But if you can touch on number one, the church issues, number two, what in the world were you thinking when you left your husband of all those years with all these children? Because it must have been difficult. So maybe talk about because no two handled it the same. That's a lot of work in and of itself. And then go into because as soon as you left, your workout partner was Nick. And I'm
Tom.
just Tom. Okay, Tom. Let me cross out Nick. I don't know why I have Nick on here. Tom. And I'm just keeping it real because there are people on here that follow you that I know. I see you out there. And we all, because some of us were like, do you think she's having an affair with Tom? You know, everybody was taking it. And I was like, dang, Amy, you just gonna throw Tom out there? Like, I mean, she didn't even have a sackcloth and ashes uh period where she was like walking around like Hester Prynne with her big. I was like, oh, Hester Prynne, Hester Prynne. So for those
I
of you,
love I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to address this because I know a lot of people are thinking it, so it'll be fun to put everyone's thoughts
yes,
to rest
because
with
that's
that.
what they've been thinking.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just start with that. That no, absolutely not. That
Because Tom is hot. Tom
Tom
is
is
hot,
hot. Yeah.
young.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden you're looking like this and y'all are in on flyers together. And I was like, ooh, he's shameless. So anyway, go ahead. Just take us down. I'm gonna shut up and sit back and drink my coffee and let you run with it. All
Okay,
you.
okay. So, the whole thing, there's a unifying theme to all of the decisions and all of the transformation that's happened. And I think I can sum it up like this. Essentially, I had been living someone else's life script for most of my life. I was trying to fit into a box that was handed me by the church, by those around me, and I was trying to make myself happy by fitting into that box, but I was not being true to myself. I was playing small because I was afraid of outshining people. I was afraid, I was very codependent. I was taking care of everyone else around me and not taking care of myself. And as I approached my 46th birthday in the summer of 2017, I just like, I couldn't do it anymore. I was broke emotionally, physically, and spiritually bankrupt. And it was like, I don't, how much longer am I going to sit on the sidelines of my life and watch it pass by? How much longer am I going to numb my pain with food? And how much I don't want to repeat. I've got it. Half my life on this planet is over, and I don't want to repeat the next half in the same manner. So I really had to learn how to get into the driver's seat of my life. I had to learn how to I tell people, like, rewrite my life recipe. I had to discover a recipe where I got to figure out life, how it, how I wanted to live it, and how I could be my true authentic self. And the church was that box that I had been trying to fit in all those years. They're not only having a gay son and having them tell him how he had to live his life, they're really good at telling women. And it's not just the Mormon church. I think this
Right.
is organized religion in general. There was
Across
a
the board.
very traditional woman role that I kept being told I needed to fit into. And the harder I tried to fit into it, the more unhappy and dissatisfied I was. And
Right.
I just, and it was the same in the marriage, and it's not his fault at all. We married, I was very young when we married, and I was a certain person, and I grew and I matured and I developed in a way that was not comfortable for him. And it was hard for him to support me in my journey of
Now,
becoming myself.
who you were. Time out real quick. I want to pick up right there. Keep thinking that he couldn't support you. That's where we're picking up. But I want you guys, I'm ringing the bell. When Amy said about the recipe for her life, that's a good one. Pick that up. She drops it off. You pick it up. I'm picking it up. Because here it is. Every now and then, we have to take the lid off and we have to put our little spoon in our spoon of purpose. And Amy did this. She went, and I've done it. Maybe you have too, where you taste and you go, good, but something's missing. It
Yeah.
needs something, right? So
Mhm.
you got to go in and you don't just do the Helen Keller thing and reach into your pantry and grab any old thing and dump it in there and expect it to taste better. You got to know exactly what's missing. It needs a little sugar, or it needs a little pepper, or it needs a little whatever spice your life needs. And then when you get to that thing where you don't, it's so good, it smells so good, you don't even find the spoon. You just use your finger.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, man, it makes you so good, it makes you want to slap your mama. Okay? That's the kind of life you want. And Amy,
Yeah.
I get it because it was for me at 50. You're absolutely right. Waking up in the middle of my colonoscopy and seeing that scope inside me, I went back to sleep. But the next day, I was like, there's a lot of shit going on inside my body. And it's getting older. And my vehicle's got more miles on it every day. I'll never be younger. At this age, I'll never be as young as I am again as I am right now. And
Yeah.
I knew that I had more life behind me, most likely, than in front of me. And
Right.
that's an easy way for me to make the right choice. So now your husband, when you said he couldn't support you, was that because of religious things, um, or just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how far did you change where he was like,
Um,
I can't get behind that, Amy. Sorry, girl.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure religion probably played its part. I think more it was just I was not. I was like, who are you? This is not the person I married, and I'm not comfortable with this you that has an opinion, this you that is making you the priority in your life. Like, that was really hard for him to see, that as I was making myself the priority in my life, I actually then had greater capacity to take care of everyone else. It didn't feel like that for him. It felt very selfish, that I was focusing only on me and not on him. And so he's a wonderful person and a wonderful father. And you just get to a point where you just realize that the two of you are in different paths and you're going in two different directions. And the best thing to do is to you know allow each other the freedom to continue those paths as it feels right for you, and
You
instead
still
of trying.
friends?
um, I work very hard at keeping a peaceful, respectful relationship. He's the father of my children, and I want him to be happy, and I want my children to have a happy father. And so I'm very committed to and it's a work in progress.
Is and it will, and I applaud you, everybody. Get behind that. Let's see some love on the screen for Amy, because I mean, you have again how many children?
7, Loren.
7. I don't know why I want it to like America's Supermom. She has 15.
Seven,
Lachelle
15,
Atkins.
all the same.
Right. She has 7 kids, and the thing about it is, you love every one of those children with everything within you, and that means you're gonna have weddings, you're gonna have graduations, you're gonna have births of babies, all these different things. And you have, we want it to be where it's a great experience for everybody. So I applaud you. I'm praying for you that it all goes where it needs to go. Now let's go back to your son Adam. He's been on the
Well,
show.
hold on. I need to
Sure.
address. I need to address because you put thoughts in people's minds, and we got to clear this up right now
Oh,
with Tom. So
oh, okay,
Tom
go ahead.
Tom is my bestest friend ever. But that's all it is. It's a
Okay, I'm
very
kidding.
I know you're having fun with it. But I'm just going to put that out there because I have there have been some people that have been courageous enough to actually ask me the question, but I know there's a lot of people out there thinking it. So I just want people to know that we work really well together as business partners, and he is my best friend. He's had my back. He's been my rock for this last year and a half, but it has been a very platonic relationship. It's never been romantic. He has a girlfriend, and I love him dearly and he loves me dearly, but it's very much just a very close friendship.
Well, that's good to know. Now because now
Sorry to
you're
disappoint everybody.
right. I know exactly because there were a lot of women out there going, "Oh my God, she's so lucky," you know.
Well, I
But
am
okay.
lucky because I have him in my life. I am very lucky to have him.
Oh, awesome. And I'm glad we cleared that up because I knew the truth. 'Cause I
Yeah,
asked you about it right off the bat. I think I asked Adam first
yeah.
because I was scared to ask you. Now, Jessica Toff, she says I can absolutely relate to this. Um, Destiny, I didn't put my fingers in my mouth. She says, please keep your fingers out of your mouth. Did
I
I?
have that problem too.
I I look, I am social distancing, so I am not afraid of my husband or this house. So, Christina Straub is watching. How are you, Destiny? Thank you. Destiny says we ladies are super women to everyone but ourselves, and I think she also thinks that ladies in general fall victim to fitting into a box. I believe that. Shelley Dale, she says she learned to belly dance years ago in 15 minutes, and 15 minutes of that is so mood uplifting with the coins jingling. Woo woo. Um, so anyway, there's all that. So let's thank you for clearing that up about Tom. Now let's talk about your son Adam, really, really briefly.
Okay.
About he's been on the show. You've been on the show together.
Hmm.
I think Tom's been on the show too with you.
I think he
Right.
was.
Yeah, back in the beginning.
Hmm.
Now Adam is an LGBT young man. I just love him. He's one of the greatest kids I've ever met. I'm serious. I just love him to death. And but one of the things that really stuck out to me when I first started getting to know Adam was that he was struggling with the LGBT aspect and the church aspect, and he was not willing to give up his faith
Right.
to because they said his lifestyle was unacceptable. Now,
Right.
I find that very interesting because you're saying now, you just told us today on the interview that you completely severed your ties with the church and walked away from it, whereas Adam is still
Well,
or last I knew he was.
yeah, so here's the thing is that it's not that I mean I am at a place in my life that I'm no longer interested in organized religion. So even if the church did a complete turnaround tomorrow, I'm not so sure that I would be interested in returning. With that said, my relationship with God and my spirituality is stronger than it's ever been, and that's something
Yeah.
I love. I don't have people at a pulpit telling me how I need to live my life to earn salvation. I get to figure that out between me and God. So I love that. And with Adam, I think Adam definitely would return if they did a complete about face tomorrow. But what happens is they take one step forward and then it's two steps back, and it's so traumatizing on the whole LDS LGBTQ community because they're just grasping at some sort of thread of hope. And I was in that place too. I mean, he came out when he was 15 and he's 23 now. So for 7 years, we were all looking for hope that things were going to change and get better. And so we tried to stay to create a safe place for other LGBT folks in the hopes that one day we would all be embraced and loved in our authenticity. And I just got to the point where I saw the pattern that just was not happening. What they would, come out in the news saying something that seemed hopeful and wonderful, and then literally within a few days it was like two steps back. Oh, no, no, this is not what this means. And it just, for my own health and well-being, I couldn't take it anymore. And Adam is at that place too. And but it's a beautiful place to be, because again, and it's not just the LDS church, I'm sure all churches are like this. They kind of hand you a life script, like, okay, if you're gonna to be a good member in upstanding status, this is the life that you need to live. And
Right.
so if that works for you, awesome. If that life script brings you happiness and peace and fulfillment, boom, you've got your community, you've got your religion, you've got everything. It's so great. But for the rest of us that doesn't work for us, it kind of feels like, oh, like I can't do this. This is not working for me. But the beautiful thing is now we get to discover what does work for us. We get
Right.
to, Adam's a trailblazer.
Yeah.
He is
Love him.
experimenting and trying different things, and he's figured out what brings um, his soul joy and peace and happiness, and he gets to then live that life. So
Hmm.
that's what he's doing right now, and I'm so proud of him.
I am too, bringing the bell on that. We're here today with Amy Ibera. She transformed her body, lost 80 some pounds, and just changed her life completely, flipped it around. And Amy, I know because of the story of Adam when he came out, the way he did it. I think there was a wedding going on in the family, and he told certain people, he got you guys all together and all that. And you guys used to have these family meetings, and so um, it's like you're an open book with a lot of the potentially guilt laden topics. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
yes.
There's this need to get it out in front of everybody and let them know.
Oh,
How has that played out for you? And did you lose? Did I mean, like, we hear those stories of when people divorce, the friends divorce them as well. Um, how was that shade of the story for
so,
you?
well, first of all, you need credit here for my ability to do this, because when I first met you at that event, Abby's event, you were taught, or maybe it was one of the coaching sessions you and I had, I can't remember, but you talked about you have to own your whole story. You can't
Mm,
just when you're talking and you're in front of people, you can't just share the pretty parts of your story. That's only a version of you. If
right.
you want to really connect and have impact, you have to show the whole story. You own your whole story and you share the whole story. And so that was really, what gave me the courage to show up and be completely open and authentic. So thank you for that, because it is,
Oh,
oh, it's so empowering, right?
it
Because
is.
when I'm up here and I'm telling you everything, like there's nothing to hide. I don't have to feel shame or embarrassment or guilt. It's all out there. You all know I have a very hunky business partner, that lots of people want to fantasize that there's something going on between
Going
us.
on, right.
There's not, never has been. He's my best friend, will always be, But yes, going back to what you were talking about, I have absolutely, so many people have gone away from my life. And not necessarily because of the divorce, but definitely because I left the church. And I didn't really realize how many people had left my life until this past Christmas, because we're busy. Like I'm busy. I have a business. I had a part-time job. I'm raising my kids. I'm taking care of me. I'm living a happy life, very busy. A lot of people that I was seeing every Sunday at church, I'm not seeing them anymore, but it wasn't on my radar until Christmas, because like zero Christmas cards came in, zero plates of Christmas cookies came in. It was like, wow, all of these people have really gone away. But the beautiful thing about it is that it has created this space for such wonderful relationships. The friends I
Right.
have in my life right now, and it's so fascinating because I was just telling this to someone recently. My inner circle, my closest friends that I talk to on a regular basis, and we love each other and support each other, and we have a soul connection with each other. These are people that have just come into my life within the last year and a half. I have maybe like three, I can think of one LDS friend who has stood by me through this whole thing, and I love her dearly. And I have a high school friend, I mean, there's just a couple people that I've had longevity in relation, in terms of our relationship, but my people like Tom and I can name other people. These are people that have only come into my life within the last year and a half, but there's like a soul connection. I mean, they've got my back. They are there for me, and we love each other, and we have fun together, and we're growing businesses together. And so, yes, a lot of people have gone away, absolutely, and that's okay. That's their choice. But it created this space for really deep, meaningful connections with people that I just feel so grateful for.
Yes, and I wanna ring the bell on that one too. Boy, this bell's getting worked out today, y'all.
That's
Listen, I always refer to my life as the dance floor. And, I want people in my life. I don't want wallflowers. I
yeah,
want people that came to do the electric slide, that came to
yeah,
do, the boot scoot boogie.
yes.
I don't want people lining the walls of my life around the
Mhm.
borders. I want them actively involved. I just do. And I know what you mean. So, what about family members that are members of the church? Because it's an easier choice than say, I'm not sending her any cookies uh, when you're just church members. And again, too, what gets me, because I know when I left the church, Seventh day Adventist, same sort of deal. And it was like all the value of me just went down the drain.
Yeah.
My stock plummeted, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
mine too. Oh no,
And I was like,
it's to the point, Loren. I have to tell you, people will not let their children come over to our house because of my lifestyle.
and it's so un-Christ-like.
Yeah, I know. So so true.
So, again, that's where the high road comes into play, and we
Yeah.
have to pray for them, hope for
Hmm.
better for them. But it is a constant reminder of me of what I'm glad I didn't choose to continue being, and what I can speak to as an authority of, you might want to think twice, about that. I'm just saying it is. So I applaud you on that. So tell us about the happiness factor of your life today, because I don't sense any regret, which is a big piece. A lot of people make decisions that they don't have to, but they choose to regret, and they take away. It's like it takes the shiny coating, sheen, the wax, the turtle wax coating off of the experience, and leaves it dull and lackluster because they sabotage it with guilt and remorse and all that. Talk about that and why you refuse to feel any of that.
Well, such a great question, and I think the couple thoughts that come to mind is that I am my life is more beautiful and fulfilling and exciting than it I could ever have imagined it being, even just a couple years ago. So all of that had to happen to get me to where I'm at today, right? And my if I had a regret, it would be that it took me so long, but I'm still okay with that too, because if everything that I had to experience and go through in my past to get me to where I'm at today, then awesome. I am so okay with that. Number one.
Man,
Number two, this is something I teach a lot of my coaching clients, and this was something that I learned even as I was contemplating getting a divorce. It was not something that happened overnight. It was years in the making, and I did not arrive at the decision easily. It was a very difficult, because I did have children, and I wanted to protect my children, and I wanted to make sure that they were well and loved and nurtured and supported. And so I did sacrifice even that for them for a number of years. But I was listening to a podcast when I was really in that space of trying to make the decision, and I was leaning towards divorce, but and there's a lot of fear, like, in the Mormon church, you get divorced, it's not only your salvation that's at stake, but the entire family's salvation is at stake.
ooh,
So yeah, it's heavy, 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 and fear and guilt and shame. So but anyways, listening to this podcast one day, and it was about marriage and divorce, and the woman was saying, whatever your decision is, whether to leave leave or to stay, make sure you don't make that decision until you're happy. And
Mm.
when I heard that, it pissed me off. I was like, damn it. Because I'm looking for people to support me in my decision to leave. And then she says, wait till you're happy before you make that decision. And so my immediate thought was, well, yeah, because if you're happy, then you'll decide not to leave and you'll stay. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted to hear. But that was absolutely wrong. And absolutely what she said was absolutely true is once you get happy, then you have clarity. Now you're not from a place of reacting. So many people choose to leave or to stay as a reactionary
Exactly.
experience, but you get happy and then you have clarity. You see the whole picture from that place of happiness, and then you can make a decision without reacting. And that's exactly what I did. The happier I got, the more clear the relationship became to me, and the problems in the relationship, and my inability to know to no longer tolerate those things. Right?
Absolutely. Amy, and I want to tell everybody this is great because what you've just described is what I coach people on and speak to from the stages. And I refer to it as wall talk. When you're stuck in those places and you're like, should I stay or should I go? And this and the other. That's when your greatest advisors will say things to you like, oh, don't worry, you'll find a way around this. Oh, don't worry, you'll get from underneath this. Or why don't you just get over it? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's what you do to walls. You dig under
Mm-hmm.
them, find a way around, you climb over them. But opportunities. Have you ever heard of a wall of opportunity? I haven't. I heard of doors of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
windows of opportunity. Why? Because they both a door and a window. A window you can see through, and a door you can get through. You can walk through it. So, and that's where I believe God wants us to be.
Yes.
Everything that we live is an opportunity, and if you can see through it, you can get through it. But a wall, I don't buy that. So I love what you're saying. I love what you're putting down. And if you guys can feel what she's putting down, and you want to pick it up, let me see some hearts on the screen, won't you, please? So, Amy, as we conclude, real quick, I want you to can you tell us what it looked like that day as we get out of here? This is the Jerry Springer final thought. Um, for that person that may need to make that heavy decision and just doesn't know when the perfect time is. What did it look like when you did you assemble all your family and say, we're divorcing? How did you set the stage for that so that everyone was safe in hearing it?
I actually blew it. I did not do that well at all. I could not tell you how to do it. I came from it in a very naive perspective. I actually thought my adult children were going to be more supportive than they were, because they had seen some of the challenges in the marriage, and the so I what I didn't take into account was it wasn't for them. It wasn't a breakup of the marriage. It was a breakup of the family.
Really?
And I had been the one that raised them to believe that family was number one. Family was everything, and as a family, we stick together no matter what. And then here I'm coming to let them know that the way they heard it was that I was breaking up the family. So I did not do that well, and
Which makes you an authority on helping someone else. Don't do what I did. You
yeah,
know, you know, do the opposite, or you might want to consider this. So there are no mistakes, Amy. Merely
right,
blessings and miracles that are in the making.
yes, yeah.
So, I want before we get out of here, can you do me a favor? Can you tell people where they can continue this dialogue with you? Where do they go to find out whether they need some health and wellness info, or they want to talk about some deeper things with you?
Yes. Well, so obviously, find me on Facebook, Amy Ibarra, AIMEE, Ibarra, IBARRA. On Facebook, I'm on Instagram. But what I'm really excited about is I have a new Facebook community group. It's called Intuitive Health with Amy. So
Nice.
come join my group. I do a weekly Lunch with Amy Facebook Live, and we just do a deep dive into health and wellness, but from the point of view of weight loss. So that I have set the intention, Loren, I'm so excited to help 100 people experience their own successful weight loss story. I've been talking about my story for a year, and I'm tired of talking about my story. I want to start celebrating other people's stories. So I am ready
Uh,
for everything
Give it
I
away.
Yes, I want to give it away. And this is where it starts. And I actually am launching a 7-day workshop in the group. It begins on Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
It's a 7-day completely free. This is my gift to whomever is ready to start their own weight loss success story. They just need to join my group and they'll need to register and get worksheets. But that's the best place to get me is Intuitive
Okay.
Health with Amy. It's a Facebook group.
So we have about a minute left. Will you go in to the comments and leave all of the road markers so that people can find their way, drop those breadcrumbs so that they can find their way to your door and get involved in all these wonderful opportunities that you have? Would you do that for us?
Yeah, do I do it where it says say something there? Is that where
Yeah,
you?
just put it inside the comments. Even after we've shut down, you can go
Okay,
in and comment and people will be able to find it.
you got it.
Okay. Amy, thank you. You have an open invitation. Come back to Bathroom Moments whenever
Oh,
you
I
feel the need.
thank you. I always love
Okay.
our conversations, Loren. You're the
Same
best.
here. Thank you. I love you. And my best to Adam. Tell him to give me a call. You know why. And
I will.
we're going to have him back here soon, too. And for the rest of you out there, get out there now and do what we do. Love up on everyone you can. But remember, the best way to make that effective is to start with the mirror. Say to that person, I love you. I got you. I've got your back. And I always will. If you want to be the blessing, remember, by looking in the mirror, you get to see the blessing. And that's how it works. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. I'll see you here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for our next installment, God willing. Have a great day and continue doing what you're doing. Bye bye, everybody.